What's going on? This is AlTone, and today I wanted to just give you a quick review on this. It's called and the company is called NANGUANG, and I want to make sure I say that correctly. I may mispronounce it, but it's a LED light. It's the RGB 66 NANGUANG LED, and as I've been doing, continuing to do video and trying to, just add a little something extra special to my video. I start picking up little things here or there that don't cost a ton of money that I can use to, enhance, or add some depth or color to my videos. And this little light right here is one I just picked up. And I actually think I like it so much I need to buy another one. I honestly need to get another one. It is an RGB light. Of course, it can do, and I'm going to see if I can turn this sucker on real quick. I got it on low, so it can do, switch it. It can do regular light, and of course you can soften or brighten that light up. So that's the first thing that you can do with this. And the second one is you can basically do whatever color background lighting or however you want to do it. You can do it with this light. So if I just tap the button on the back, did it change? I think so. And now, nope, we're still softening. Okay, that's good. So now you notice that the light color changed. And if you can see that color really good. And I've got this thing down pretty much as low as I can get it, where you can actually see it lighten up. But the color actually changes. So, the color changes in rows. So this particular light has 324 LEDs in it. So if you're using white light, this thing can get pretty bright, as well as when you're doing colors, it gives you really strong color, especially when you're using. If you're using red, greens, and blues, that's almost purple. This is so blue. But again, let's say, so on this light, and I'm not going to say which one it is, but this light, I actually have like a purple gel that I cut specifically to put on this light. So I'm going to turn this guy off for a second. Put this on here. This light right now, in order to be able to get that like purplish color, it's only showing up in a small area. And so I'm going to dim these lights real quick so that you can see. So I've dimmed this light, dim the overhead lights here, and turn this light on. And you can see that this should be like a purplish color. It's got a little bit of that color to it, but not a whole lot. It doesn't really give you the color that I feel like you need. It's going to give you a tint, and these little lights are fantastic. However, it doesn't give you the real color with a gel on it that you need. And I am an amateur. I may not be using this as well as I possibly could be. But if nothing else, for simplicity, it's crazy. So let's take this guy and turn him around. So I'm going to turn this one off. And both of these have brand spanking new batteries in them. Or should I say fully charged batteries. So I'm going to take this guy, turn him around, and actually I'm going to turn that back on because I want to get the same color. So let's turn this guy around. You see all the controls on the back. I'll go over those in a second, but if I turn this guy on, so right now he's blue. Let's see if I can adjust it to make that color almost the same. That's about the same. So let's turn this guy off. And now you see, that's actually a richer, like purple color. But that is barely on. And that's max. And so essentially it's the same color as this gel that I have in this light. Trying to really bring that color out. This one has 176 LEDs in it, but it's a strictly white light. And this one has 324, and look at the brightness. It's ridiculous in that color. And of course, and I'm going to tilt this up a little bit. Tilt it up a little bit. And just change the color a little bit so you can see it. So that's red, and then we're going to just keep changing it just a little bit. So we got almost like a teal, and our full green, then like an orange, yellow, back to red again. And that's just by me adjusting this one little knob up here. And this is on full brightness. So that's ridiculous. So if I was to turn this light around at me, look how much I'm lit up. And actually, I just looked at it, and that's almost too bright for me to actually look at. So I'm going to tone it down a little bit. That's a little bit better. So like a purple. And so now what I'm going to do real quick, I'm not even going to turn this off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to brighten my lights up here again and leave this light on just so you can see that hint of red. Right now I've got it set on red. Matter of fact, let's go back to about the same purple I had there. So I'm going to leave it on, turn it down just a little bit, and I'm going to go turn that light back on, and then we're going to brighten this up so you can see what the difference is and see how I'm actually adding some color to my face and my surroundings a little bit just by using this one light. So this light is right here, so you're really seeing that purple kind of on my arm. So let's see if we can adjust this a little bit and make it better. So if I was to bring it up here, adjust it just a hair, and then so now I think it's probably too much. I probably need to dim it down a little bit. And of course, I'm making this adjustment looking at the screen without even having to look at the LED itself. So this should be giving me just a hint, and the screen I'm looking at is very small, and my camera's at a distance. But this should be giving me just a hint of like a purple. And so I actually took a couple of pictures, a couple of photos. So what I had to do was, in order for this other light to be able to keep up, I had to brighten this light out as much as I possibly could on one side and dim on the other side. And dim this one down to where I could, and then turn off all the overhead lighting so that I would get that real feel of the coloring. That contrast of color. And so it gives it a little bit of a different feeling. And I think that's, honestly, is fantastic. So I also do live streams sometimes. And if you ever look at Nick Nimmin, if you ever watch his channel, he does a lot of blue in his backgrounds. And my color's red. So I wanted to be able to add a nice red tint. So with this particular light, I can sit during my live stream and put this light directly behind me and brighten that red up as much as I want to, go straight to red, and use that red. Yeah, I can see that that's pretty bright. So if I wanted just a tint of red, use that red to totally change the color of my background if I want to, or just put a splash of red by changing, just how bright it is. And be able to use it during my live streams and give off that or create that type of colored environment that I want. And with multiple lights, you can do so much more. So we're going to take this off the stand, and in case you're wondering, both of these lights are on the exact same stand. I'm using the exact same stand. You can use any standard lighting stand that you want. So on the bottom here, it also has the hot shoe mount. Now this light cannot be controlled by your camera. But if you want to put light specifically on a subject, you can do that. The other thing is there's quite a few controls in the back here. So I'm going to turn this light all the way down and turn it back on. Oops, I thought I turned it down. I turned it up. Turn it back on. So let me switch to a white light. And so there's an adjustment from 32 to 56K, which will let you soften that light up. So that's 56K and 32K. And you'll know what is on based on the LED on the back. This one has an LED on the back that tells you what it is. So the other thing that you can do, which I think is ridiculously cool, so I'm going to take it and bring it back down. I'm going to take it to 56K. So the other thing that you can do is it can function as a strobe. And it can strobe at different intervals. Slowing it down. And then back to full. So you have two buttons right up underneath the LED. One of them is the battery capacity button. So if you press that button, it will tell you what your battery capacity is. Right now mine says E10. The one next to it lets you adjust the light's address. You can just keep clicking on it and it will adjust the light's address up and down. So right now it's on A5057. And because of the fact that I'm new to doing photography and that kind of thing, I'm not able to explain that address to you as well as I'd like to be able to. But for anybody who is using LED lights or lighting systems, we'll probably have a pretty good idea of what that actually means. For me right now, it doesn't matter so much. I imagine it probably does and I don't realize it, but that's what it is. And then there's another button that will cause it to automatically change colors. That's rotating at the slowest speed, second, and the fastest rotation between the colors. And then the fourth one just turns it off. It goes back to original color that you have it set at on the dial. So, when I first got the light, when I first received it, I was like, wow, that's a lot of controls. How do you figure it out? But honestly, it's so easy to use. And I just showed you, I was able to adjust the color for myself without looking. The buttons on the back, they're labeled to tell you what they're for. So you don't need to keep your manual handy. You can actually look, it'll tell you exactly what everything is for on the back. The other thing is, one feature that I like, this is an NPF 550 battery. And most of the NPF series batteries, I'm actually getting ready to order a 750 so I can have a little bit more battery life out of the batteries. But most of those will fit. I mean, they fit perfectly. And not only that, but the one thing that the feature that I kind of really like about this, which is not on some of the other lights, is it locks in place. That battery locks in place. So there's one button here, and if you push that button, it unlocks it. And I like that feature. If I'm using this light in a situation where I'm moving a lot, or I'm on a vehicle, you know, driving, and I want to have some light for a particular video shot right above my camera, I like the fact that that battery locks in place. Now, I have not had a battery fall out of any of my cameras before. I don't do a lot of motion style shots, but it's just nice to know that it's secure. I mean, if I happen to bump into something, I don't have to worry about it's going to fall out and get lost. Not only that, but if I'm storing it in my case or wherever, most likely I'll be storing it without the battery in it. But if I do have to do a quick put it in a case or something like that, I don't have to worry about the battery coming off if that's not something I want. The other thing is, a lot of the LED lights this size, you can buy a power adapter for, and that power adapter, the power adapter that I have for these lights actually works for this one. I'll try to link that power adapter in the description, as well as a couple of options for batteries for you for this light. But I'm telling you, the first thing was, I love the fact that I could just grab one of the batteries that I already have, put it in it, put that battery in it, and use it. I do not know, I'm assuming that because this light has quite a few more LEDs, and with the functions, the battery may not last as long, which is part of the reason why I'm thinking about getting a the 750 series battery. But so far, I haven't had a problem with my battery power running out as I'm using it. So that's my quick review of the NANGUANG, I hope I say that right, RGB 66. It seems to be made very well, and I'm enjoying using this light. I'm absolutely enjoying it. I'm so glad that I have it added to my setup. And the only thing that'll make it better is for me to buy another one, and I do plan on doing that soon. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope this helped you out in some way, especially if you're a YouTuber or a photographer, or you just like doing video and you want to add a little bit of color and depth to some of your photos and some of your video. Then I'm telling you, I honestly recommend their lights. Reviews is not all that my channel is about. My main focus is to be able to help you to be able to find your gifts, your talents. I mean, even if it's just a hobby, and just do those things that you enjoy. So this is one thing that helps me to be able to do that, and I want to help you to be able to do the same. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you very soon.